Dear friends, welcome to a new program. Usually, in my channel, I record videos where I speak Turkish and explain grammar or translate the text into Turkish. In this program, I am going to look with you at comics, Mark Twain's The Prince and the Pauper. If you understand most of what I am saying right now, then you can benefit from these videos. If it is difficult for you, then maybe you need to learn the language a little better before you can do it. In this video, I'm going to look at the pictures with you and read the text. And I'm also going to use the website, Google Dictionary, when it's needed. For instance, if we need to know what the word pauper means, then I will write the word pauper and meaning. Here you are. I click on this, and there is even a translation to Turkish, which is not always very good. The best thing is to see the explanation. What is pauper or who is pauper? Pauper is a very poor person. Historical meaning of it is a recipient of government relief or public charity. Charity means like aid, humanitarian aid, like help. Relief means when somebody is in a very bad, difficult situation, you can give a relief to make it easier for their life. So when government gives relief or help or aid, or when a charity, like a humanitarian organization, gives help, gives aid, when somebody receives it, in the past, they would call them pauper. These people would be called pauper. So pauper is a very poor person, and we can see the Turkish fakir yoksul here, but Turkish translation will not be as precise, as exact, as accurate as this explanation. Explanation in English explains exactly what the word means. So sometimes we will switch, we will come to this website if needed. Let's begin the story. First, the storyteller or narrator, let me write the word narrator here. Narrator, you can see the Turkish. It's a person who narrates something, which means a person who tells a story, like a storyteller. So the narrator begins. When the narrator says something, it looks like this. When the characters, the people in the story say something, it is in the white, and it is shown like a cloud that comes from them when they say something or think something. We start from the narrator's words. In the 16th century, in the London slums, a boy named Tom Canty was born. We see the picture of a mother and the baby born. From the mother's face, we can see that she doesn't look like a happy person. From their house, which is dirty and small window, everything looks old and poor, and the clothes are poor, and the mother is unhappy. We can see that it is in slums. Slums is the place where very poor people live. Let's write slums and see what it says. The word slum means a squalid and overcrowded, even more difficult words, sorry. So you can see the Turkish for it. So fakir semt or something like that. So it's an urban street, it means a street in the city, or district inhabited by very poor people, where very poor people live. Slums is a street or a district where very poor people live. For instance, there are slums in some large cities. Maybe in Chicago, in Panama City, you know. So the London slums, the London had slums, and those slums are the places where the most poor people, the poorest people, lived. In the 16th century, century is like 100 years, 16th century. Today we are in the 21st century. This was in the 16th century, maybe about 500 years ago, in the London slums. A boy, it's not a girl, it's a boy, named Tom Canty. Named means that they named him, they gave him a name, so he is named Tom Canty. Was born means came to the world, like, babies, they are born into the world. Well, all of us, we people are all born, we live our life, and then we die. So, he was born. And the next phrase says, there was no happiness at his coming. His coming means Tom Canty's coming. Tom Canty came into the world, but his coming did not make anyone happy. There was no happiness at his coming, because of his coming. This is probably Tom Canty's father. He says, a baby, another mouth to feed. A baby, okay, this is a baby, a little, very little child, a baby. But what the father says is that it's another mouth to feed. What does it mean? This is the mouth. This is his mother's mouth. This is his mouth. To feed means to give food. So in the family, they have to give food to one mouth, his wife, another mouth, his mouth. Now it will be 1, 2, it will be 3, third, the third mouth. They will have to feed, give food. So he looks unhappy, and he has something in his hand. It is a cup or a mug. I suspect that it is alcohol. He looks like a drunkard, like someone who drinks alcohol, like a beer or rum or wine or something like that. And he can spend money for drinks, but he does not want to spend more money, and maybe he doesn't have money. But now he will have to find money to feed his son, and he is not happy. Oh, a baby. We would be happy about babies. Oh, a baby is born. Congratulations. But this man, he says, a baby, I don't like it. It's another mouth to feed. One more person that I will have to provide food for. We'll go down and see what happens next. It's a different place. And we read here, and on that very same day, another boy was born, Edward Tudor. There was great happiness at his coming. And on that very same day, on the same day when Tom Clancy was born, On the very same day. Very same day is used for emphasis, like on that same day, exactly on the same day. They use the word very for that. And on that very same day, another boy was born. Another boy. So here is one more boy, a different boy, a second boy, was born. He's also born on the same day. Edward Tudor. That's his name, Edward Tudor. There was great happiness at his coming. So if we remember, there was no happiness at Tom Canty's coming, but there was great happiness at his coming, at the coming of this boy. And we see that somebody is smiling. Maybe it's his father. So there is somebody else standing. Who is that? Maybe his assistant, helper, or maybe his servant. We don't know here, but he says, "There he is, sire, the new Prince of Wales." The new Prince of Wales. You know, Wales is a country in the same island where England and Scotland is. It's Wales. And he is the prince, the king's son. So this must be the king. I think this is the king, and his son is born, and his maybe servant, I don't know, says, "There he is, sire." That's a strange word, sire. Let's check it here. We know the word sir like this, right? Sir. Sir, respect, beyefendi. Okay, but in this case it is sire. Sire, and in Turkish translation here we see some strange things. Babata, and because the first meaning is the male parent of an animal. Animal, not human, of an animal. That's interesting. But there is an archaic meaning. Archaic means that it is not used like this anymore. Not now. Now we don't use the word sire. But in the long past, long ago, a respectful form of address. When you respect somebody, you address somebody of high social status, especially a king. So in the past, long past, people would call kings, they could speak to the king addressing him as sire. That's why when we read that this man says, "There he is, sire," it is another confirmation. It proves once again that this is the king. And here in the next slide, we see somebody blowing the trumpet. Blow, like wind blows. And you blow into a musical instrument like this. This is trumpet. Because you blow air into it, you say blow the trumpet or play the trumpet. So we see somebody blows the trumpet because there is a celebration, like there is a holiday, there is a happy event. All England too was joyful at Edward's birth. All England, not only this family, not only the king and his family, all England, all London, even the slums, the poorest of the poorest, the very poor people, they all were happy, were joyful. All England too, also, as well, was joyful. Joyful is like happy, full of joy, at Edward's birth. And birth is to be born, like birthday. So Edward was born at his birth or at his coming. Everybody was joyful. All right, people are happy. We see poor people are happy. Rich people are happy. Everyone is happy. Let's move on and look at what's going on. Next, Years passed and life was different for the two boys. Let us stop here. Years passed. Year, you know what year is? Year is like, right now it is 2025. It's the year. The year, it has 12 months. So 1 year passed, 2 years passed, 3 years passed, the years pass. And life was different for the two boys. The two boys, like this boy, the prince, and this boy, Tom. So, life was different. It was not the same. Very different life for the two boys. While Edward, the prince, spent his time acquiring the world's knowledge through tutors, Tom, look here, Tom had been made to beg. Well, let's start from here. So while is like at the same time. Let me write it here so we can see the meaning. While, in not number one is different. While is like during the time that. During the time that, at the same time as, during that time, during the time that Edward did this, Tom did that. While Edward did this, at the same time Tom did that. So while Edward, the prince, spent his time acquiring the world's knowledge through tutors. So spent his time. You can spend different things. You can spend. Spent is the past tense. Let's look at the word spend. Spend. You can see the Turkish here. You can spend $100,000, for instance. You can spend money. Show more. Okay. A verb spend. Look, the word spend. The past tense spent. Past participle spent. It's an irregular verb. Spend, spent, spent. So the past tense is spent. You can also spend time. Like number 2 in Turkish, geçirmek. You can spend time. So while Edward the prince spent his time acquiring the world's knowledge through tutors, let's look at the word acquire. Acquire. You can see the Turkish here. So acquire, what was he acquiring? Acquiring the knowledge. Acquiring the knowledge. Acquiring is obtaining, like getting something. Like becoming the owner of something. Getting something, receiving something, gaining something. You see all the synonyms here. You can acquire habits, good habits as well, but in this case it's knowledge. And knowledge is, of course, you understand, when you know something, information, it's knowledge. So he spent his time doing what? Like this. Look, somebody teaches him books and he's acquiring the world's knowledge. The knowledge of the whole world, the knowledge about the world. That's what he needs because he is the prince. When he grows up, he will be the king. So that's why he acquires the knowledge through tutors. This man is a tutor. Tutor is like a teacher. Let's look at the word tutor. Tutor, it's a private teacher. It is the one who teaches a single student or a very small group. So you cannot use tutor for university professors when they teach the big class. But when somebody teaches you privately, then you call it tutor. And here you see özel öğretmen, özel ders vermek. So you can see the Turkish for it as well. So he had tutors and they were teaching him everything through tutors. Through tutors, through it means that they did it. They were mediators. They were the ones who helped him or who taught him acquire this knowledge. So the tutor says, this morning we'll review the following verbs. This morning, okay, morning, evening, night. So this morning, he came in the morning to teach the prince. This morning will, which means we will, review. View is look at something. Review is look at something again, or to repeat. To repeat something you learned before. We review the following verbs. You know verbs, like the word pass is a verb, or we just looked at the word acquire. Acquire is a verb, you see verb. So we'll review, the word review, a Turkish verb, not noun, but verb here, gözden geçirmek, something like that. So, yeah, you review, like you repeat something you learn. The following words, and the word following is, actually following means like when you follow somebody, you go after him. But in this case, the following means what follows or what comes next. In Turkish, they don't have the good translation here because probably it will be aşağıdaki. Okay, I promised not to speak Turkish in this video, so alright, sometimes we can make an exception. So, this morning we'll review the following words, and then he shows the words will follow. They will go after his finger shows there where. So this is in the prince's room, in the king's house, and here the picture is at what happened to the pauper, to the very poor boy. So while Edward was acquiring all that knowledge through tutors, Tom had been made to beg. To beg. To beg means to ask for money. To go to the streets, stretch your hand and say, please give me some money. For God's sake, have mercy on me. Please have pity on me. Give me some money. This is begging, and people give you 1 cent, 2 cents, 5 kurush. So this is begging, when you don't work but you beg for money. So made to beg is like forced to beg. Like he didn't want to, but his father drove him out. His father drove him out of the house and said, you go and beg. So he had been made to beg. So here we have a difficult form, had been made. So it is used in the past perfect. The past perfect tense is used here, which means that even before something happened, something else had happened. He had been made to beg. His father had forced him to beg many times. So his father says, what? You've begged only a single penny today? Take this, you lazy fool. And he beats him. He looks like he is drunk. Maybe he is drunk, and the boy looks scared. He has fear. He is afraid. He is humiliated. Humiliated is like he is bent. He is not standing straight, like standing proudly straight. He is bent. He is in fear. He tries to defend himself, but he cannot. So his father, we cannot even see his eyes because he's so angry. He says, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, what is it? I didn't expect that. I thought you would bring me a lot of money, but you've begged only a single penny today. So today, this day, you've begged. So up to this moment, you have begged and begged and begged. You've asked people to give you money. Give money to this poor boy, please. and you've begged only a single penny. So you received from those people only one single, which only one little penny. Penny is like kurush. Today, nothing else. And so his father calls him lazy. Lazy is somebody who doesn't like to work, doesn't want to work. Fool is like somebody who is not clever, who is stupid, who doesn't think well. So he calls him a lazy fool, and he tells him, take this, you lazy fool. Take this. Take, if I want to give you something, I want to give you, for instance, a book. I'll tell, take the book, please. Take it from me. I give and you take. You give and I take. But here, take means, take this means like, take this blow. Take this blow. Blow is like when somebody beats somebody, when somebody hits somebody. Take this. Like, you should take this pain, you should take this beating from me, because you don't want to work and you are stupid, you are not clever. So take this, you lazy fool, he says. That's it for the first part. Now I would like to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel, and especially thank everybody who has become a member of my channel, a friend of my channel. There is a group called Dostlar. So when you press on join here, or if you go like to any video, so near the subscribe button there is also a button that says join, and if you click on that you can join this channel, and by joining this channel you will have access to files, dosyalara ulaşım, which means the files like PowerPoint presentations of my lessons and some other files. I will share them with the members of this group. This is called Dostlar, the friends of the channel. So you can join and become also my supporter, a member of it. And please let me know what you think about this practice, because it's the first time that I'm preparing this kind of practice on my YouTube channel, and I need to know whether it's helpful for you. If it is helpful for you and if you enjoy this format, I will continue doing it. Thank you very much, everyone. Until the next time we meet. Goodbye.